Good morning, everyone. My name is John Shipper, and I'm running for re-election as a commissioner from District 3. 4 years ago, a group of people came to visit me at Christmas time and asked me to run for commissioner. I had not planned on doing it, and I did file for that office in January after Christmas. I'd like to cover a few things very quickly. First of all, it's been an honor, it's been a privilege, and it's been a challenge to serve as your commissioner from Elbert County. I've enjoyed it. There's been some difficult times, but I'm going to deviate from the major political presentation and talk about two issues. The first is the financing of the county. When we entered office, we inherited two debts. The first debt was the $5.3 million for the rebuilding of the Justice Center. That had to be done because of a lawsuit against the county by former Judge Seidel in this county, which was settled out of court for a large amount of money. This Justice Center had to be torn down and rebuilt because of the mold, or the alleged mold, in that Justice Center. The second debt was for a little bit over $2 million. Norm, write this down. The exact figure was $2,037,500. I forgot the mills, Norm. I forgot the mills, but I'll give you the exact. What we did, that was for a 9-month loan. The former commissioners took that out in January, the first part of January, just before we took office. What we did, we had to consolidate those notes because it became due September 15th. We consolidated those two notes into a 30-year note, amortized over 40 years. The debt payment on that is $500,000 a year. It is a note just like you have on your mortgage, and I'm sure a number of people in here have mortgages on their home. What was put up was the Justice Center, which the original loan was taken out on, and the water rights to 6 properties only. There has been some false information put out there, and people have been feeding on it. The fairgrounds were not put up. The county building was not put up. Other properties were not put up. Once again, there is only 2 things out there. The Justice Center, which was rebuilt with the $5.3 million, and the water rights to 6 properties. Yes, we can handle the $500,000 a year. It's just like a mortgage on your home. Interest and principal is paid every year. We have not taken out any new debt whatsoever. And we can justify that. The other thing I'd like to address, several individuals have said that in 2005, the county took about a $7.1 million loan. That is absolutely false. There's no evidence to substantiate that whatsoever. I don't know where that came from. Somebody just must have made that up, and other people have printed it.
My name is John Shipper. I have 2 other issues I wanted to address.
When Del Schwab and I took office 3 years ago, the first thing we did was amend the agenda so that we took public input and opened it up to public comment. First we take comment from our elected and appointed officials, and then we take comment from the public on anything they want to talk about. And that has been consistently on the agenda since we took office. Secondly, we have never turned anybody away that had a reasonable request for information. And we have abided by the Sunshine Law 100%. Yes, we welcome public input. We welcome quality public input. And I will never turn away from that. Thank you very much. Transparency is exactly what's been practiced in Elbert County. Not one open records request has ever been refused. Sometimes it takes time to gather the information. Sometimes the question that asks, the information doesn't exist. So we're in the business of trying to create answers. We're in the business of providing facts. In regard to open government, we've done our very best we possibly can to provide open government and do the job that we're paid to do. In regard to the budgets, we have been in a period of time of declining revenues in Elbert County. That makes things very difficult, and we're probably going to face that for the next couple of years. As everyone is aware, the assessed valuations have gone down for 2012 and 2013. That means there's less revenue coming into the county. Yes, it is a challenge, but if you go through the budgets, if you go through the auditor's report, you will see that we've had a balanced budget, and those information has been available to anybody. I'm proud to say I've been a Republican all my life. When I turned 18 years of age, I registered as a Republican wherever I've lived, Douglas County, Elbert County, West Virginia, I have always been registered as a Republican. I was also a young Republican when I was in college. I was a member of the Denver and the Arapahoe County Young Republicans when I moved to Denver in 1973. And I attended those meetings on a regular basis, and I'm very proud to say that I have always been a registered Republican. Thank you. I think it's very important that we coordinate our activities with the townships and that we work with the mayors and the town councils as much as possible. Just about every Monday morning I go down to Simla, Colorado and have breakfast with the former mayor, the mayor, several interested citizens, just to get their input on what's going on in that community. I have talked with our mayor in Elizabeth from time to time and try to find out what's on their mind, and a member of the town council. Elbert County is a very, very large council. Very, very large county. We have 3 incorporated communities, Elizabeth, Kyle, and Simla in the county. And we need to coordinate those activities as much as possible, not only for the cost savings, but for the benefit of all the citizens. Thank you. Our road and bridge people, we've got a little over 1,200 miles of gravel roads in the county, and our road and bridge people, yes, they do have take-home vehicles and they do travel a lot. Believe me, it's far cheaper to run a pickup truck to get to your grader than to drive your grader home and drive your grader to where the job site is. You save an awful lot of money that way. In regard to our sheriff's deputies, they're basically on duty for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I strongly support them having take-home vehicles. Just the idea of having a vehicle parked in front of your house or wherever you happen to be, in my opinion, is a deterrent to crime. In regard to the use of other vehicles, I was the county commissioner that went into office 4 years ago, and I could not believe the number of vehicles that were parked behind our county building. We disposed of those vehicles, those older high-mileage vehicles that were not being in use. I believe that other county employees should have take-home vehicles should they need them, and they use them appropriately. Thank you. We're talking about fracking of oil and gas wells in the Niobrara Formation. The Niobrara Formation is about 8,000 feet down in this area. The deepest water, to the best of my knowledge, that's potable, is about 2,000 feet down. So therefore, we're separating between the oil and gas in the Niobrara Formation between 4,000 and 6,000 feet. I support fracking. I grew up in West Virginia where we have lots of oil and gas wells. Fracking in that area was referred to as putting a small charge down at the bottom of an oil well that had been there for 20 years, setting off that charge, and therefore they could pump oil for maybe another year or two and extract the oil. I do not know of any difficulty that they ever had. There may have been some, but I do not know of any difficulty. The oil and gas wells that we do have in Elbert County at this time are not fracked. They're basically down, in my understanding, the J sands, and they are horizontal wells. Yes, I support fracking. This is the way we can reach energy independence for the United States at some point. I do not want to be held hostage by the Middle East. Thank you. Just to follow up on an earlier comment, Norm's been holding people accountable for years. He just didn't start it. He is only 21 years of age. Smile, Norm. I believe the people are responsible. All the people are responsible for holding elected officials, all elected officials accountable. We try to be accountable to the people. Once again, we have opened up the county commissioners meeting to public comment. Since we took office, we expect public comment. If anybody has anything on their mind or a question, they can simply ask it at that time, and we will get back with them. We may not have the answer on the tip of our tongue, but we will find the information. We will provide that information to them. Again, the citizens are responsible for holding all public officials accountable. Thank you.